Who is Jeffrey Epstein and what do we know about his crimes? He was a rich, well-connected sex offender, and his ties to US President Donald Trump continue to haunt him. Here's what we know about the notorious sex offender and the crimes he was accused and convicted of. Epstein was born and raised in New York, teaching maths and physics at the prestigious Dalton School in the 1970s. It was here that he apparently impressed the parents of one of his students, leading him to a job at Wall Street investment bank Bear Stearns, quickly becoming partner. 4 years later, he started his own firm, J. Epstein & Co., managing clients worth more than $1 billion. It's about this time that Epstein started mingling with celebrities, academics, and politicians. He was photographed over the years with the likes of Microsoft founder Bill Gates, Bill Clinton, and James Brown. He managed to amass a fortune worth $600 million by the time of his death in 2019, and had a lavish collection of homes in New York, Palm Beach, Paris, and 2 private Caribbean islands. In 2005, he attracted the attention of Palm Beach police in Florida, when the parents of a 14-year-old girl told authorities he had molested their daughter at his home in an encounter that began as a massage. Despite the fact that Jeffrey Epstein faced 60 possible criminal counts and had as many as 40 victims at this stage, he was offered what was known as the deal of the century. Federal prosecutors offered to end its investigation if Epstein pleaded guilty to 2 state charges and register as a sex offender and agree to a prison term, which would allow him to avoid the possibility of life behind bars. He'd end up serving 13 months of an 18-month prison sentence and was allowed to leave jail for up to 12 hours a day. The deal also included a non-prosecution agreement, giving immunity to him and any named and unnamed conspirators.
I have never seen, I have never heard of a plea bargain in which not only the prospective defendant, but the defendant's named and unnamed co-conspirators were granted blanket immunity for unnamed crimes.
This plea deal was negotiated by Alexander Acosta, who would go on to become Donald Trump's Labor Secretary in 2017. He'd later stand down in 2019 over his involvement. In 2019, Epstein was arrested again on federal charges, accused of abusing dozens of victims between 2002 and 2005 at his mansion in New York and his estate in Palm Beach, Florida.
The victims typically received hundreds of dollars in cash. The estimated dozens of victims were as young as 14 years old at time of recruitment.
But he would never face these charges. In 2019, he was found dead in his prison cell in what was deemed a suicide. The accusations that Epstein preyed on young women in the 90s and the early 2000s are very well documented, but other aspects are still very contested. What was the true nature of his relationship with US President Donald Trump? How much did his well-connected circle of friends know about the extent of his crimes, and how involved were they? And what will any further files reveal?